I think of the Justice League, I think of Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern. You don't want to mess with that lot. But you, Barry, you're just the team mascot, aren't you, mate? The loser of the league, folks. The fastest man alive. It's the Flucker.
I don't mess around when it comes to gaming contents. I cover it all on my channel. My channel is simple to provide you with the most entertaining and engaging gaming contents on the internet that's exploding now. So I have created a concise, short videos on my channel for high energy that will grab your attention from the very first second and provide you with valuable information that leaves a lasting impression. Now, I know I am using AI voiceover on my videos. Nobody typed this in the comments. Now, if you like what you see and want to support the channel, remember to hit that like button, leave a comment, and share my videos with your friends to help me grow so that I can pay for my foods every day and love what I do. Thank you for tuning in and showing your support. Alright, let's get down to business.
Memories. I don't know what you're looking for, but cards on the table. You don't get more unreliable narrator than me. It's my thing. And the collateral damage. Oh, but don't worry about that. I remember you invading like it was yesterday. Heroes and villains working together. Imagine me being one of humanity's last defenders. What a gas! Oh, that's right. You, don't have a sense of humor. If only the others had listened! I had big plans for us going out with a bang! But you know what they say about good intentions. You can't kill them all! Oh, that's when we first met. Oh, we could have been pals, shared torture tips. But you ruined my Earth. That's my modus operandi. And I hate being upstaged. So you thought you could keep this very active pathological imagination in a jar? Think again! Then I discovered you'd been giving my Earth a makeover. What's a place like this doing in a guy like me? Well, I'll pick your brain about it sometime. Ice pick!
This delicately commentary on the state of live service games, and now to properly discuss that we need to focus on, is in a downward spiral, with Rocksteady's Suicide Squad live service game as a prime example of the industry's decline. Why DC fans criticizing this game as a subpar product, highlighting the fact that it took over a decade to develop, cost millions of dollars. Despite facing numerous delays and receiving negative feedback from DC fans, Rocksteady forged ahead with the game, ultimately releasing it as a $70 product that failed to live up to its price tag. Now, I am not talking about only this game here. Even Ubisoft's recent release Skull and Bones. I am legitimately baffled by Skull and Bones. It is a downgrade in every conceivable way from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now, I know some people here seem to think that I am just here to talk shit about the video games. I'm not. I love video games and it's absolutely brilliant. It's immersive, beautiful, and mechanically stress-free. I happily spend hundreds of hours in Minecraft. So, to answer the question, wait, let me rephrase it. The better question is, why would you buy it for $70 when it was obviously going to be shit to begin with? Anyway, moving on to the topic. Why did the game fail by Rocksteady within the Batman Arkham universe? Initially, fans were excited about the prospect of a Suicide Squad game from the makers of the Batman Arkham series. However, as more details emerged about the live service focus and gameplay, people began to realize it may not live up to the expectations. The game's sales were dismal, even less than Marvel's Avengers, and it faced controversy over the way popular characters were killed off. The player count on Steam quickly dropped, peaking at only 13,000 players and eventually dipping below triple digits. That's the problem with these live service games. They depend purely on player base, actually in real time how many are playing the game. So if hardly anyone does. In this case, nobody asked for, and the premise being a hard sell even with the best, or probably an okay at best. The game gets exposed as more expendable than any other genre. I'd say this now, that the game down the line, in a 1 or 2 years, before Rocksteady announcing that they stopped live service for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, just like the Avengers game did, which developed by Crystal Dynamics. The new Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an open-world PvE action looter shooter. It's terrible for a multitude of reasons that, as far as I can tell, most people aren't really talking about. Currently, the main criticism is about how they treat the Justice League members, and especially, and yes, that's a valid thing to criticize, but for me, it's like maybe fifth on a very long list of other things that make this game puzzling, to put it as kindly as humanly possible. Now, this game is not a Batman Arkham Knight direct sequel, nor do a standalone Batman game. So, it's not completely off the table here, and Alan's good either. I was expecting something better from Rocksteady. Although, in the end, we got a looter shooter trash. In a recent interview with GamesRadar, Armstrong said during the interview, "I mean, we're really enjoying working on a Suicide Squad game now, but we can assure you that, as the title says, we do really kill the Justice League. So, there is no reviving of Batman, or any new sequel is going to happen in the future. I don't think we're getting another Batman Arkham Knight sequel without Kevin Conroy, and I don't think Rocksteady would cast someone else to play Batman. However, that being said, hey, who knows, they could revisit or take concepts from the canceled Damian Wayne game to do a Batman Beyond game. It was supposed to take place 10 years after Arkham Knight. I really hope they don't make a new Batman game or a new Superman game, or even take one step higher and make a brand new IP game. I know Warner Bros. Montreal has something to say about that. We'll leave it at there. So, moving on. I'm not sure if there has ever been a more flagrant example of just how far Rocksteady or any other big studios has fallen. Let's address this right now. Suicide Squad game is an objectively bad product. You can certainly enjoy an objectively bad game, it happens all the time. But in order for this video to make any sense, we must approach it from a shared perspective. This means acknowledging the game as a complete conceptual failure. I think that we can all agree this game wasn't the epic disaster game in 2024, like everyone's saying. But I think we can also probably agree people moved on after finishing it. But let's not pretend like it was actually a good game. It has had dreadful player counts and the critic reviews are worst at best. No one recommending this game for $70. If you disagree, that's fine. Feel free to type out your thoughts in the comments, you probably already started for that matter. But it was essential to state this at the beginning so we can all have a shared understanding as we delve into the subject. So why am I making this video? Games are released all the time, some good, some bad. Life goes on. What makes this game so special? Why is it worth discussing? And what can we possibly learn from it? Let's find out. There were rumors circulating about a canceled project from Warner Bros. Games Montreal for a Batman game centered around Damian Wayne in a post-apocalyptic Gotham. This project had the potential to offer a fresh and innovative perspective on the Batman franchise. Let's take a closer look at the situation that unfolded in 2015. News started spreading like wildfire that Rocksteady, keep this in mind, which is an important detail for later, was working on a standalone game inspired by the success of Batman Arkham series. Pretty exciting stuff, right? There was a huge gap in the market for a good single-player superhero game, especially since no one making any licensed single standalone superhero games. If you take a moment to truly listen to this answer, you'll realize that it's describing a fully fledged live service game. It's not just any game, it's a looter shooter co-op game that offers a vast and complete gaming experience. This game is the real deal, a triple, quadruple, even quintuple a game that will continue to impress in the long run. Now, I don't know about you, but this does not sound like a genuine answer for some people. You can disagree on that, but you are wrong if you do. I'm actually lost for words on how to describe just how empty the game actually is, when you look at it through the span of 10 years in making. Rocksteady had a golden opportunity on their hands, with everything falling into place perfectly. Fast forward to 2024, 9 years after the initial buzz and the game first started development as a multiplayer looter shooter. Rocksteady let all their trademarks at that point. I started to wonder if the game would ever see the light of day, or if it was a sequel to Batman Arkham series. Now, I know that being in the game industry is rarely just a job. They could all get paid more for much less stress in a traditional business, definitely for programmers or for art designers. It still might feel better to work on a good game that failed than a bad game that has also failed, and it might even feel better to work on a good game that is obviously fails than a bad game that makes a lot of money from fucking nothing to offer in the first place. In my humble opinion, releasing a product for $70 that falls short of deserving such a price point is the epitome of corporate failure, mismanagement, and bad practices. The CEO may call it Quad A, but I beg to differ. This debacle comes hot on the heels of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, a live service game from Rocksteady that looks like it belongs in a time capsule from 9 years ago. This game is trying so hard to be funny, but it ends up disrespecting the characters and lore in a way that just pushes away its core audience, DC fans. It's supposed to be fast-paced, but instead it bombards you with tedious mechanics that just slows everything down. And it's supposed to be thrilling, but the power progression is so lackluster that there's no excitement at all. But let me tell you, there are a few things that I actually enjoy about it. King Shark is genuinely comedic and adds a fun element to the game. The voice acting in this game is top-notch, with each character bringing their own unique personality to the table. The lines may be a bit goofy at times, but that just adds to the charm. In my opinion, one character stands out as the best of the bunch. I know not everyone may agree with me, but all 4 characters are pretty fun to play. The dialogue was clearly well thought out and adds depth to the game. Overall, I found the humor to be hit or miss. While I didn't find myself laughing out loud too often, there were definitely moments that got a chuckle out of me. Despite this, I still don't like the game, and I can tell that Rocksteady really put some efforts into making it a memorable moments. I was under the impression that visuals had improved drastically over the past decade with better hardware and game engines, but these live service games products are proving me wrong. Not only do they lack visual fidelity, but they also fall short mechanically. How can a $1 million game with a decade-long development cycle not deliver on its promises? It simply doesn't add up, even when accounting for inflation. Back in 2015, Arkham Knight was considered lackluster in terms of sales, despite costing less than millions to develop. Fast forward to today, and we have Suicide Squad game, costing twice as much, offering less gameplay features, and taking a whopping 10 years to create. It's described as quadruple by the CEO, but I can't help but compare it to games that cost half as much and took a fraction of the time to develop. Overall, the Suicide Squad game failed to capture the attention and loyalty of DC fans, ultimately leading to its downfall within the gaming community. If they close the studio, if this game flops like everyone expects it will, it would be justified. They made this game at the end of the day. Yeah, that's it for today. As always, thank you all for watching and have a nice day. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.
At the end of the game, everyone goes, "Wow, this was a hell of a ride." Let's play again.